What's up guys, Elman here, back with another video. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. We're back. We are finally here. The season finale of The Mandalorian. Let's talk about episode 8, The Redemption. So coming off of the previous episode, obviously, the child has been officially captured by the stormtroopers, and we get a scene that's really a great change of pace and something we don't really explore in terms of, story, which is the stormtrooper perspective. These guys are having an exchange, a conversation with each other, talking about Moff Gideon and how he operates and just in general, and they're just kind of like commiserating with each other. Of course, there's a self-aware joke there where they're shooting at something, they can't really hit it, and they look at their blasters as if that's the reason why they can't hit it. But then they smack Baby Yoda a couple times and even punch it, and I'm just like, how dare you? And of course, as I predicted, IG-11 comes to the rescue, and it's incredible. He just goes crazy on the stormtroopers as a nurse droid. We get back to Cara, Greef, and Mando, or Din Djarin. Yes, his name was finally revealed, and so now from here on I will call him Din Djarin. Din Djarin's past is finally revealed officially in a full-fledged flashback as we get to see the Purge, or Night of a Thousand Tears, as we see super battle droids just going crazy throughout the town and his parents trying to run away, and eventually they're saved by Mandalorians. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it looks like, from judging from the color of their armor, it looks like Death Watch, or it looks like Bo-Katan's troops. Then we get an awesome and amazing sequence of IG-11 speeding through town, just destroying stormtroopers left and right, and Baby Yoda having fun. Ugh, that was just way too cute. As IG-11 swoops in, everybody engages in a firefight, and everything is crazy and everything is chaotic, and through the chaos, Moff Gideon blows up Din Djarin and they are forced to retreat. What happens next is just super incredible. A flame trooper shows up, tries to burn them out, but Baby Yoda forces the flames back with the Force, and even force pushes the flames back into the flame trooper, dispatching of the flame trooper, and that was just crazy, and I was like, let's go, Baby Yoda! And as the others escape through the hatch to the Mandalorian covert, IG-11 and Din Djarin have a few words with each other. I've never taken my helmet off in front of a living thing. I am not a living thing. We get the helmet off scene. We get to see Pedro Pascal in the flesh, finally, for the first time in this series, and he just finds out he has a minor head trauma, fixes it with Bacta spray or some Vicks Vapor Rub. IG-11 and Din rejoin the group, and they find that the Mandalorians, ever since exposing themselves, have been wiped out, except for one, the Armorer. And we get amazing lore about the Mandalorian as she cites the conflict between the Jedi and the original Mandalore. And then we find out that Din is a father, as he is right now, because Baby Yoda, or the child, is a foundling, and as is the way, he is now, in care of the child and must rejoin the child with its own species. Din, of course, earns his signet and earns what makes him complete, according to the Armorer, his jetpack. As they're still being pursued, the Armorer warns them, tries to usher them away. We get this kind of NPC RPG-esque type of scene where the Armorer is kind of helping them escape and refueling their munitions, all while doing this kind of like RPG-esque NPC dialogue. I don't know, it's just one of those side things that, like, I felt like it felt to me, and it felt like an RPG. We get also a touching moment as they're traveling down the lava pits, and we find out that, Din is sad to see that IG-11 has to sacrifice himself, because there's a whole battalion of stormtroopers at the other end waiting for them, and the only way they can escape that is if IG-11 self-destructs. And Din shows a bit of compassion here. Now, this is a huge step in Djarin's arc, because it's a huge juxtaposition to how they met. They met on the first mission to retrieve the child, and IG-11 was there to eliminate the child, and Djarin wouldn't allow that to happen and killed the droid. He also hated droids in the beginning as well. And then here, he's expressing that he needs IG-11, and he's showing sadness in losing IG-11. And then the next scene, we get a huge nod to Terminator. I don't know, I got the Terminator vibe from this scene where he steps into the lava, and it just reminded me of a robot stepping into lava, sacrificing himself to save the child, John Connor, or the child, Baby Yoda. And of course, IG-11 self-destructs, takes out the battalion, and it's a sad day because IG-11, you know, was a great part of the team, and it was so short-lived. I was bummed out in episode 1. I thought that was the last we would get to see of him, and then when we find out that Queel had reprogrammed him and repurposed him to be a nurse droid, that was me going, oh, he's finally joining the team. IG-11's part of the team, and now he's gone, and it's kind of sad, but, you know, feels bad, man. Not wasting any time, however, Moff Gideon attacks them in a TIE fighter, and we get this amazing sequence with Din Djarin and his jetpack finally taking flight, and he lassos the TIE fighter, so to speak, or grapples it. He takes a wild ride through the air, gets some explosives on the TIE fighter's wing, and takes down Moff Gideon. But what we see next is just wow. Like, the Darksaber exists, and Moff Gideon has it, which means Bo-Katan doesn't have it. And the last time we saw the Darksaber is when Sabine had it and gave it to Bo-Katan to unite the Mandalorians. And so that's going to be an interesting narrative to explore in season 2. A bit of a backstory as to what happens, why Bo-Katan doesn't have the Darksaber anymore, and where is Bo-Katan? Are we going to explore that story in Obi-Wan's TV show, or are we going to explore it further in The Mandalorian? I would say it makes more sense to explore it in The Mandalorian because it's a show called The Mandalorian, but interesting nonetheless to see that Moff Gideon has the Darksaber and not Bo-Katan. The Mandalorian has cemented itself and established itself as a mainstay in the Star Wars universe, and it's exciting to see, and it's gratifying because, you know, when this first was announced, I was hesitant. I was looking forward to it, but I was more often just hoping that it was going to be really good, because we don't want anything that's really, really bad, obviously. But first we had Clone Wars, and then we have the Rebels, and then Clone Wars was announced that it was coming back, and then we have The Mandalorian. And we have an awesome slate, an awesome arsenal of TV shows to look to in the Star Wars canon and the Star Wars universe in general. And it's awesome to see how all of these stories are connecting with each other, because first we had the Clone Wars, we had Anakin's story, and we had Ahsoka and Obi-Wan and all of those stories, and it dovetailed into the Rebels where Ahsoka and Anakin showed up, and we had a little bit of a clash or a bit of their narrative come to a head, and now we have the Mandalorian and the Darksaber, and we're just finally seeing all these stories connect with each other and how they play a part in each other's stories, like individually. This is just a great time to be a Star Wars fan, because coming off of The Rise of Skywalker, which was a great movie, we have The Mandalorian, and now we're going on to Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, and then we have like future TV series and future Star Wars trilogies to look forward to, and we're inundated with all of this material that a Star Wars fan could hope for. Another thing that The Mandalorian does is just proves that Disney Plus is a viable streaming service and a viable delivery device for Star Wars stories, or any stories really, for fans. In any case, that'll do it for my review of the season finale of The Mandalorian, The Redemption. What a great episode, what a great ending. We finally get to see Din Djarin complete himself as a Mandalorian with his jetpack, and now we have some story to look forward to. We have to speculate upon whether or not we are going to see Baby Yoda's species. Are we going to finally see Yoda's species? Because it has been unknown, it hasn't been widely explored, and if they reunite with Yoda's species, we're going to get to see more of them. But I'm thinking it's not going to happen. The whole mystery behind Yoda's species has worked for the story so far, but it would be interesting nonetheless to see more of his species. But yes, if you enjoyed my review of The Mandalorian, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I will be covering Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series. I will be covering the Marvel Disney Plus shows as well. So yeah, subscribe, hit that notification button, or hit that bell, turn on notifications so you know when I release new videos. Also check out my positive review of The Rise of Skywalker if you are one of those people who really enjoyed the movie and just don't want to be surrounded by negativity. That video is for you. But of course, until the next video, may the Force be with you, because this is the way.